Did you sign it? The game.
Motion,
Yeah, we just need to vote. I think we need to come back.
second, Dustin.
Yeah.
6:40, what's the time?
Okay. So we need a vote to come out of the session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Approval of the agenda. Not making any changes, right?
No.
Just scroll through, I didn't catch my first time through, but under previous minutes, Southside Elementary has Jeremy Casey principal.
Did you see that?
It should be on page
Oh.
3 of, or previous minutes.
Oh, I
News
see.
around the district, I don't know how they got in there. It's not the case in the episode.
Bill Mendoz.
Good catch.
In the September minutes?
What page are you looking at?
PDF 4 of 75.
Under what part?
Southside Elementary.
Yeah, it is right
For
there.
the good
good
news,
news,
for the
yeah.
good news around the district.
We'll change that to Lisa to be approved. So the motion is accept the minutes of the previous meeting as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me.
You don't want me to read the names?
Yeah, actually, we skipped over. I was asking for the approval of the agenda,
Oh.
not the minutes.
Oh, good catch.
But
No,
that's,
that was- Sorry about that.
No, I think
it's okay.
we all did it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, no, I'll read it. The next is, excuse me, tonight.
You have to approve the agenda. We have to go back to that.
I did, I already got a motion and a second for the approval of the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, approval of the previous minutes, this one.
Amended.
Amended. So I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Consent agenda. That's what we have up here.
So the motion is to approve the consent agenda, including the non-certified personnel recommendation of Dionisio Olalde Jr. as a volunteer boys basketball coach at Morrison High School, Evan Ernst as a volunteer boys basketball coach at Morrison High School, Susan Mapes, special education aide at Morrison Junior High, Mary Schaefer, trap shooting advisor at Morrison High School, Peyton Smith, classroom aide at Northside Elementary School, Jaden Workman as fifth grade boys basketball coach, and Jim White, volunteer wrestling coach.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right, roll call.
Tableton,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Sam Huff,
Yes.
Whit?
Yep.
Gridley?
Yes. All right, communications.
We have one.
Anybody sign up? Nobody? No, we don't need to do. Next, good news from around the district. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I just wanted to point out, it is in the board packet, but it's pretty great through the school store fundraiser, where students can get, it's a little stuffed animal on a slap bracelet, and it's the biggest deal in the world, so they have to have one. Once they see one, then everybody has to get one, and they share some emails of either friends or family members, and then those friends or family members can buy gift cards for classrooms, and through that fundraiser, Northside received 63 gift cards total for our building for a little over $2,000
Wow.
our teachers can use in their classrooms. So they can get their little.
Yeah, it's effective.
Their
Very
smart thing.
Very. That's very cool.
For some reason, your enrollment report was not included. I will just let you know, we are down 4 students from last month. We are at 991 students, but we are 15 students above where we were last year at this time.
Okay. Anything to add to Southside? Good news, there's quite a bit
Oh, I
here.
jumped. Sorry, I jumped.
Well, I wrote some things down, but you can read about them. We just had our movie night last Friday, so that worked really well. Did you get the notes, or do you want me to read them?
Well, you can highlight what you'd like to share.
Okay, well, we started doing a Mustang of the Month. We do announce it on the announcements, but I do take pictures as well. So if you come into the building, we have a Mustang alley. I know that it was done last year, and so we're continuing that. Instead of kind of cutting the pictures, we have some nice frames, so it looks really nice. 4th grade was able to take a field trip. They really enjoyed it. It was wonderful hearing their stories when they came back from that. And then again, some of the different incentives that we do have a school-wide behavior plan, and the kids are able to earn points, and from those points, we have a Mustang market. It's only about every other month, but the kids are very excited about it. And right now, it's working very well. So we had movie night, and I think about 30 people were there, so it worked out really well. It was nice. Nice compliments about it.
That's great.
Mr. Robbins?
Addition, we did send our 8th grade students to the Pathways Playground last week at Sauk Valley Community College. You've probably seen things on Facebook about it or through the regional office. Very successful. Got to experience lots of different careers clusters that are all available in the Sauk area. So our Kelly Holland and Amanda Tedder went. Amanda's our careers teacher, and Kelly Holland is our counselor at school. They said it went real well, and students seemed very engaged in it, interested in what was going on. So we're glad to send them that. And then Thursday, our 7th grade students will be listening to a presentation from a motivational speaker, Joseph Green. He's actually was lined up through the ROE as well. He's actually touring a lot of area schools over the next 2 weeks. Just talk about perseverance, succeeding, dealing with setbacks and those types of things. Some of it's based on his personal life, some of it's based on, experience other people he's worked with and been with. So excited to be able to send our 7th graders listen to that.
And just a couple things to preview, I suppose, coming up. This Wednesday afternoon, high school is going to host a college and career fair. We have over 40 booths lined up. Students will be parading through them, and we'll report on that. And then also, you may start to see a kind of advertisements. We asked a handful of food trucks to kind of attend our parent-teacher conference tonight on a Thursday evening and such, to try to wrangle up some grub and talking with the teachers and such about the students. Hopefully, a new idea, and we'll see if it works and such. So
Did you say food trucks?
Mhm.
Oh,
We're gonna put
wow.
the food trucks in the
It's a great idea.
parking lot and
Yeah.
come grab some food, come talk to the staff and socialize if nothing else.
One thing that I would like to add, and I don't know he thought it was the appropriate time to mention this, but we have started doing some enrichment at Northside Elementary. Karen Mayberry, our math interventionist, is now meeting with 10 students who have shown accelerated proficiency in math, and very excited about that. So we want to thank Mrs. Mayberry for doing that, as well as those teachers, the students of those teachers who allowed them to leave their classes and to get that enrichment. So we're excited to see where that's going to go, and that may be something we build on in the other buildings as well. So, okay. Finance and facility. Finance committee met earlier today. Just a couple updates. So an email went out to the board this weekend or Friday. Happy to say that we were able to identify the problem with the south side boiler and find the available parts, and then they came in at 8:30 yesterday morning and were able to fix the boiler. So I want to publicly thank John Husenfeld and his staff for going the extra mile to make sure we had heat, because it was very brisk this morning. So,
Yeah.
The track project, the bleachers are in. They're not here, but they are in the state. And so once we can find an appropriate time to start installing those will go in. The junior high school HVAC project, a pre-bid walkthrough took place this past Tuesday. I'm very happy to report that it was the best attended pre-bid meeting that I've been a part of in my time as superintendent. So I'm very excited about some competition for bids. So hopefully we get a better price than we thought. Final bids are due by 2 p.m. on the 25th, so a week from tomorrow will be the bid opening. I did mention to the committee that there might be the possibility, depending on when they need to start ordering stuff, to have a special board meeting just to approve that bid so they can move forward with that. We talked about a couple other things, specifically the LED light project, which we can get into more because that is an action item for later tonight. But that was kind of the gist of our meeting.
All right, enrollment you already covered, told us about.
Sorry.
Anything in technology?
Just a couple things. Last week I spent an afternoon cleaning out a large bird's nest out of the streaming camera on the football field. That certainly wasn't one of those things that I ever thought I would ever have to do as a tech director, but it was quite fun and messy. It took a while. It was a big one, but happily I'm reporting that our new camera will be here tomorrow and installed on Thursday. I anticipated with supply chain issues that it would be 2024 before we see the camera, but thankfully they got one out really quickly and they'll have an installer here Thursday to take care of that. And then that first week in November, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I have an opportunity to go to the Illinois Education Technology Conference in Springfield, where I will be presenting on cybersecurity and network collaboration, crisis collaborations, talking about a program that I started in our region with area tech directors, and then also kind of plugging the LTC, Learning Technology Center of Illinois' cybersecurity and network assessment program that they have. That's something we had done last year. So I'll be happy to go down there and talk about that and spend a few days learning some new things, hopefully. So.
Okay. Next is old business.
So I'm happy to report that I met with the new city administrator, Brian Melton. You may have met him once or twice. You know who he is. We are continuing discussions about the MOU between the district and the city for joint usage of facilities. So he's very open to, instead of it being just a MOU with us using the software, but a joint agreement using their facility as well as our facility. He will be bringing it to the city council in November, I believe, and hopefully if everything goes okay there, we can have a formal agreement in November. A copy of that draft is again in your packet.
I know, I was just kind of going over it, and I liked what they said in here about the concession. Not that I'm always focused on concession stands, but I really have a hard time when concessions aren't open when you have a game.
Right.
But at least the city did say if they can't run it, they would let the district.
That was mine.
That's yours? That's great, thank you.
So-
Thank you so
And he
much.
seemed okay with that.
Good.
Yes. I knew that was a topic of concern, and so I wanted to address that if possible. So yes, Brian liked that language as well. I don't want to speak for Brian, but that came from us.
Well, thank you.
Actually, he seemed very open to everything that was in that agreement. There might be a few changes. The duration is one, possibly making it a longer one since it renews annually, and there's an opt-out clause for everybody. It might be something that, and then the other potential sticking point would be any upgrades that needed to be made, that type of thing, cost sharing for that. But he was going to take that to the city council and see what their opinion was. So hopefully November we'll have an agreement to approve.
All right. All right, the next is the LED light project.
So the motion is the Board of Education approves the LED light grant proposals as presented.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay.
So several months ago, the idea of replacing the lights at Northside was brought forth by Mrs. Dykhuizen, who is the art teacher at both Northside and Southside. That is a fantastic idea and something that we wanted to look at. My conversation with her and with others is that's a great idea, but I would like to do the whole district as opposed to one building. So I was finally able to sit down with the gentleman from, and I want to make sure I have this correct, Green Sky Consulting, who works alongside ComEd to write these grant proposals and kind of push these forward. And we spent 3 hours on a Thursday morning with Mr. Husenfeld and walked through the other three buildings, counting all the lights. There's a lot. I think he estimated 5,000 light fixtures. And based on that information, he was able to put together 4 proposals, one for each building, that what we would be approving tonight is just the ability to submit the grant. It does not lock us into anything. It just gets the ball rolling and earmarks the money for us, at which point we can do the project when it fits our schedule. We could do it over Christmas, we could do it over spring break, we could do it working second shift. So this is a much more robust program than originally was probably brought forth. You're talking about taking out fixtures, you're talking about putting in new fixtures, new motion sensors, all of that good stuff. So in terms of dollars and cents, what we are proposing is a total improvement or upgrade cost of $275,271.37. If all of the benefits and bonus incentives are approved, the cost to the district will be nothing. Our annual savings is projected to be $34,000.
Wow.
So even if we don't get any of the incentives, the payback time in savings alone would be 8 years.
That's great.
So because of that, my recommendation is that we at least approve the grant and get moving on this. And again, I would like to thank Mrs. Dykhuizen for bringing this to our attention or making this suggestion. So,
Yes.
okay.
We'll need a roll call vote.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Danhoff,
Yes.
Witt,
Yep.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes. And that covers all 4 of the buildings. New business, district handbook.
So the motion is the Board of Education approves the updated district handbook as presented.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Several years ago, I used from the Illinois Principal Association their copy of the model school handbook and adapted it to the district. Unfortunately, as COVID and things have happened, it has not been updated. So this is an updated copy. There are no major changes other than dates and names of people who no longer are here and that type of thing. If there's any questions about anything or you'd like to take a month to look it over, we don't have to take a vote tonight, but seeing as there was no major changes, I thought we would just go ahead and approve it.
Any other questions?
It's pretty lengthy.
Yeah, it's very lengthy.
Yeah, it is. All right. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Job description.
Again, along the lines of trying to catch up with things as time goes on, our job description handbook had been several years, it's probably been over 10 years since it's been updated. I've been working on this for quite a while, but this is a newer, streamlined version to make sure that we're encompassing everything that is expected of employees. So there are some things that have been taken out, some things that have been added as times and job requirements have changed. This is not up for approval tonight. I wanted you to have the opportunity to review that at length if needed.
All right. Now we have 2 uniform requests.
The first is the motion is the Board of Education approves the purchase of 35 softball uniforms for the cost of $5,700.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion? So moved. Second?
So this is a request made by Mrs. Snyder, our new softball coach. The last time softball uniforms were purchased was 2017. As a new coach, I think she's looking at some new uniforms as their wear and tear and sliding and things like that have necessitated some newer stuff.
So when we replace uniforms, I just want to have, so we all know, it's every so many years.
So that's a really, really good question.
Yeah,
The current policy is based on the percent that you're asking the district to pay, that determines how long you can apply for the uniform. So if you're asking for the district to pay 80% of the total cost, you can't apply for new uniforms for 4 years. If it's 60%, then you can ask for them newer. The more you're willing to pay as an organization, the more frequent you can get them. We put this in, when we do this, Corey? I think
6 years ago.
6 years ago. It worked very well for a while. It's getting to the point now where it may need to be reviewed, and we actually discussed that in the finance committee about potential ways to change this.
Okay.
So both of these requests meet the criteria that's currently presented. That's a really good question. And where I thought you were going with that is what we do with the old uniforms is, depending on the state of them, we may sell them. We ask them, and then some of the older players, and we make a little bit of money back, so.
No, I think it's a great idea.
My one question is, when the coach comes up, says, with the presentation for new uniforms, who does it go to? Does the athletic director say, yes, I agree, you need them? Or is it, sure, just pass it on? I mean, who actually looks and say, yes, there is wear and tear on?
That's a really good question. The answer to that is it's a Google form that comes directly to me, and then I bring it to you. So if we would, as we look at different options,
Yeah.
that's certainly something that we can look at, as opposed, we can also look at limiting the number, because one of the things we've gotten into is we buy varsity and fresh off just to limit to one team. So that's certainly something that we can incorporate into that. There is no procedure to do that.
Either athletic director or principal, whoever the right person is, to agree
absolutely.
and make a recommendation.
Absolutely. Good point.
Typically, they will bring it to his attention. We always did baseball.
Yeah, no, I would hope so.
It's sometimes in baseball, I don't know about softball, I never asked them. But since it's at the end of the year, you don't always get them turned in like you do the ones during the school year where you have a little leverage on the kids, so.
I don't know, I know of
Every
several
once in a
people
while,
with football uniforms.
But baseball, it's really common. Anyway, we have a motion and a second for the first uniform request. We'll need a roll call vote.
Vanpla,
Yes.
Witt.
Yep.
Singleton,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Ruben.
Yes. And the second.
Second motion is Board of Education approves the purchase of 50 wrestling singlets from Morrison Junior High School for the cost of $2,500.
You've heard the recommendation, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote again.
Before that, I just wanted to ask a question. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay, it's okay.
No, okay, so 2,500, how much, what's the percentage that we're,
80%.
that's 80%? Okay, I didn't know, okay.
So the way that works, that's a really good question, is the district pays the entire bill.
Okay,
And then they reimburse the district from their activity fund for their portion of it.
okay.
So
Makes sense.
they write a check from the activity fund to the district.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the mechanics of it. Yeah. Roll call vote.
Whit.
Yep.
Pielson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes,
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Ruble.
Yes. And finally, the retirement request for Mr.
The
Dolan.
motion is the Board of Education approves the retirement request of Greg Dolan as a certified science teacher at Morrison Junior High School effective June 1, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on this? Roll call.
Pielson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
yes.
Sam Hoff,
Yes.
Whit.
Yep.
Ruble.
Yes. All right, we need a motion for adjournment, unless there's something else.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Enjoy your snowy drive home.
It's not snowing now.